but there's no function of cleaning the hull. The hydrogel is self-polishing, so it basically, as long as you continue to move through the water within the correct speed range, you're gonna have a self-polished hull. So there's no need to do any cleaning.
Interesting. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. Why don't they apply a hydrogel coating then to the propellers?
Because you have cavitation on the propellers. It's like micro bubbles bursting, and the bronze holds up to the cavitation, but any kind of paint would not hold up to it. It would just start to come off.
Right. Okay. Got it.
And just a quick thing to talk about roughness. The reason you polish propellers, and you should blast the ship every 10 years, is the base metal roughness is really the one that counts. And then there's a little bit of fuel savings done on top of that. So I think a lot of people don't understand that because everybody just talks about the paint. But the big thing that's really important is that you're blasting the base metal itself. That's when it comes to the hull every 10 years. You should be blasting the base metal because over time the base roughness will degrade, and it doesn't matter what kind of paint you apply to it. There's already an inherent roughness there that causes the extra friction. So you really should be considering, as part of the fuel savings program, to go in and blast the hull fully every 10 years. With propellers, it's easy to polish them every 6 months because it's not a big surface area.
Right. Okay. So, just maybe just a few things that I was curious on. So, we kind of touched on some of this a little bit, but I just want to make sure I just ask it in a different way potentially. So, from when you had the divers going in and you contracted with them to do the inspection and then any kind of polishing that was required, let's say they found a crack or something in the hull or some kind of problem that needed to get addressed. How often were you going to that same company that did that found it or did that work to actually do the repair versus going to another diving company or dry dock to do that repair?
Well, typically, if we can get it done the same day, we do it the same day. You do the hull inspections in the morning, just for that reason, in case you find something. And I try actually to organize these inspections in ports where we're going to be staying a couple days because we'll be there the next day. So if they find something, they can come back and easily do the repair. Got it.
So more often, so it sounds like nearly all the time you're using the same company that you're using one company. Yeah. Because
they know what the problem is and they've actually put their hands on it or they have their eyes on it. So
right.
It's easier to get it organized. The only reason I think that you would not do that is if the company was not able to locally, right. Like they didn't have the expertise or right. the certification to do the work, or if it was a pretty critical thing you found, and the next port that you were going to where there was availability, they didn't have service in that area.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then the other thing I wanted to just talk about, we talked about subsea, we talked about hydrics a little bit. I'm just curious if you were looking at the market just generally for these types of diver services and diver repair type services. I guess could you walk us through kind of who the top players are and like the market share that they have in the cruise industry and kind of the strengths and weaknesses of each of them?
Sure. Subsea Global now with their conglomeration of the different groups they picked up, they hold a major share within